Alrighty, and we should be live. What's going on, everybody? This is Thomas Van Kampen once again, here to show you guys a bit more animation. So if you watched my last stream or caught up on it after I was done, you'll know that I'm currently working on two commissions right now, one of which I can't share with you guys and is my primary one. But my secondary one is given to me by the Black Rifle Coffee Company, which have the YouTube channel with an impressive amount of views. They basically just kind of show off guns and all that good stuff. They put together some skits. And they asked me to create a 15-second stinger, which at this point is running above 15 seconds, but they told me that would be fine. And yeah, I'm just going to guide you through that process. They gave me permission to stream this, so that was really nice of them. And you'll get to see a little bit of my workflow, I guess. So right now, I'm just roughing out a few of the essentials. I'm not going to put too much effort, as it were, into my drawing. I'm going to wait until I'm in the process of Photoshop brushing my backgrounds and whatnot. But right now I'm just going to get a feel for the scenes, going to learn how they're going to be established, how they're going to be shot, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And the premise behind this short I'm creating is that it's just a woman. She's walking down an alleyway late at night, which of course is a very dangerous premise in and of itself. And along the way, she comes across what was described to me as two very rapist-looking guys, very creepy, just evil-looking dudes. And it seems all scary at first, all gritty, but then she pulls out a submachine gun and she shoots them both to death. So there's a happy ending for you. It all works out in the end. For this shot, it's going to be a zoom-in close-up of her face as she looks terrified. And I think this is going to be a great shot for the short because, you know, it's going to get a really good look of her face, first of all. And it's going to be a very dramatic zoom. I'm thinking it's going to be 3 seconds. Maybe I'll shorten it just for simplicity's sake, and also to cut down on the time a little bit. Originally, this was planned to be just 15 seconds, but as it stands, I actually ran a bit of overtime, and I asked my client about that, and they said that's no problem. They actually like how long it's going, and they'd be willing to compensate me for that. So that was very nice of them. Excuse me. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. And while I'm doing this, I'll also give you guys a little bit of an update as to what I've been up to besides this. Some shows I've been watching and some things I've been really excited about. Just a few nights ago, I watched episode 2 of the new season for Samurai Jack, and I gotta tell you, this show is freaking outstanding, even more so than it was when it originally came out. This new season is Samurai Jack fully realized. It's incredible. It's freaking insane. I can't even, like, I have not gushed this hard over a cartoon in such a long time, and I'm a freaking animator. This is my job. Like, everything that was great about the old Samurai Jack, this new season just amps up to 11. It's got great color use, it's fantastic action, some of the most awe-inspired action choreography I've ever seen, not just for television, but for, like, shows in general. Like, I was so blown away. Like, each episode has the quality of a straight-up movie. It's insane. Like, if you're not watching it right now, you are missing out so hardcore. You don't even have to be a fan of the original show in order to enjoy it, in my opinion. Like, it certainly helps, because you get an introduction to the premise and everything. But like, God, you just got to see it, man. And and you know what? It actually retains a lot of the really kind of silly humor of the old show too. Like, I don't want to go into like spoilery territory for those of you who didn't see it, but like Aku is back, obviously the main villain from the last few seasons, and I thought my biggest fear for the show was that it would be too kind of dramatic and gritty to the point where it would lose a lot of its old humor and charm. But it has not lost that at all. The last two episodes have had great bits that are so much like the old cartoon, just in terms of kind of sillier humor and all that good stuff. And God, it's just so good. Like, I can't. It's hard to dissect really because like something's a lot harder to dissect, or sorry, something's a lot easier to dissect when it doesn't work, but when something works and works this fantastically, it's a little hard to elaborate on other than, oh my God, it's so good. And everything that was great about the old show is back in this, but it's made even better. It has better structured faces. It has more adult themes. It has a grittier take. The humor is still as good as it ever was. And there's one particular shot in the last episode that drove me crazy. Like, I don't think I'm spoiling anything about this if I talk about it because it was all in all the marketing and whatnot too. But basically the premise of this episode is there's like this cult of ninjas, I guess, called the Daughters of Aku. And basically they're hunting down Samurai Jack in hopes of appeasing Aku. And so that's basically what this episode's about. And I don't think I'm giving anything away by saying that. Like, that's what was shown off in the trailer too. And it has a spectacular action scene. Like, it has this great shot in it where Jack is running down a hallway, and it's a shot of behind his back, and like the hallway has like this 3D rendering, and Jack is like running down this hall, and this camera's like slowly zooming into him. He actually turns and glides along the wall as he makes like sharp turns through the corridors. And you follow him all the way over there. And then all of a sudden, as he's running, like one of the ninja ladies, she just kind of jumps out of nowhere. And it's like a great jump scare that doesn't have any musical cues, but it's so well delivered. Like, oh my God, you have to see it in order to understand what I mean. Like, that's by far my favorite thing that happens in the whole episode. But the episode in general is really good. It really delves into Jack's inner conflict. He has a lot more stakes now than he ever had before, like, and he's starting to feel like really defeated. God, like, oh, it's so good. You just have to see it, man. See it, like, you really have to support the show too. Like, there were a few leaks on YouTube where they leaked full episodes, like after their release. Please don't do that. Please just support the show however you can, because obviously they have to make a profit off of this in order to keep going. And you can get like the Adult Swim app on your phone. It's only $5 a month. Plus, you can watch other great shows like Venture Brothers, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Rick and Morty. You can watch all of that on there as well. So it's a worthwhile purchase, in my opinion. Yeah, man, just check it out. It's so good. Like, oh my God. Anyway, something else that's happening. Another cool thing that I've been checking out is Wolfwalkers, which is a new upcoming film made by Cartoon Saloon, which is an Irish studio that makes 2D animated features like The Secret of Kales and my favorite movie, Song of the Sea. And Wolfwalkers looks so damn good as well. That this studio is well known for delving into a very Irish-inspired kind of aesthetic, and let's take a look at that. Yeah, it's a little awkward. It's gonna look like she's lifting something. Maybe I'll like cave her elbows in a bit more or something, like on these two. But yeah, what the hell was I going to say? Right, Wolfwalkers. So Cartoon Saloon is really well known for delving into sort of like a Irish-inspired art style where it's very much reminiscent of Celtic drawings and pagan artwork. And this new release, Wolfwalkers. By the way, if you're not knowing what I'm talking about like some stuff that Cartoon Brew has released, where it's like not necessarily a movie trailer, but it's like just some newly released finished footage for the product. And they're delving into the whole kind of Irish aesthetic now more than ever. Like it becomes more and more prominent with each release. And it's a beautiful, beautiful aesthetic. Like I wouldn't have it any other way. These guys are like the Irish equivalent to Studio Ghibli, which I'm sure Mr. Tom Moore would be very pleased to hear, because I know that from one of the Rubber Onion Animation podcasts that he was really inspired by Studio Ghibli, and that's a big inspiration for his films. So super stoked. Let me see if anybody's in the chat. No. Oh well. But yeah. But yeah, that also looks incredible. And you know what? Like, I've been thinking about this a lot, and I think it holds some bearing of truth. I think that the fact that things like Wolfwalkers and this new season of Samurai Jack are so prominent, I think that's a sign that 2D animation, and more accurately, classical animation, still has a place. A lot of people have been making an argument that that's a little weird. Yeah, that's, I don't know what the deal with that is. A lot of people have been making the argument that like freaking that classical animation is kind of outdated now, because like all the animated Disney films are 3D animated, which is fine, nothing against that. And a lot of current TV shows are character rigged, meaning it's not really frame by frame. More, it's just these kind of 2D rigged puppets that have their limbs like tweened and everything. I have nothing against either of those styles of animation, and I understand why they're made. The tweeting puppet one in particular is very useful because it's a cheaper way to work, because you need less animators and it's produced in a smaller amount of time. So I totally understand its existence, and a lot of shows are switching over to that platform, like the new Arthur and the latest seasons of Fairly Odd Parents. Doesn't always work thematically with those kind of shows, but I understand why it happens. I'll say that. But you know, a lot, because like of an uprising of that kind of stuff. A lot of people say that traditional animation is dead, like frame by frame hand drawn, like what I'm doing, and I don't think so. I think it always has a place. People, including my inspiration, Harry Partridge, he described it as like the animation equivalent to black and white film, according to smaller kids, because they kind of see that as more of a mom and dad's thing than something they can enjoy. I don't know if I'd go that far, but you know. But you know what? Black and white movies rather, are still cool, and it's still a nice theme, and you can still see it in certain places if you know where to look. And it's not dead. It's just kind of has its ups and lows in popularity, and I think it's rising in popularity more recently, which I'm super stoked for. These are some hairy ass eyebrows. I'm gonna get rid of that. I am not a particularly smooth or precise artist when I'm first starting out on a project, as you can most definitely tell. But, you know, just getting the basics out there. I believe she had a dress like this. She has like a cocktail dress with straps. Getting pretty tired of talking now. But yeah, that's basically all I've been doing. So, you know, shit's good. Shit's good. I was thinking of like starting a new channel, one that's kind of separate from my animation work. Not exactly like a completely thematically different one, but more just one where I sort of share my opinions and like some kind of editorial sort of videos on things I really like, and based largely on some blog that I've been writing for my Tumblr, Scrawny Dutchman. Maybe that's what I'll name it too, Scrawny Dutchman. Yeah. This is going so much better than last time. Last time it was like lagging weirdly. Like my computer just would not accept it. I'm gonna give the scene some really kick-ass lighting too. Like I'm thinking like one side of her face is gonna be um, like one face is gonna be kind of like highlighted with blue, the other one with red. I'm not even sure what the logistics of that would be, but I think it would look so neat. That would be like a kind of shot I would put in my next demo reel. Been thinking about what I'm going to do after the whole Jerry Mouse thing is over. I was thinking I would either upgrade my tech or I would probably enroll in a college in Vancouver, but the latter is so expensive. Like, oh my god, I can't stand how expensive college is. It's freaking insane, dude. It's like $26,000 for a year course. And that's not even covering like textbooks and supplies and stuff. It's freaking bonkers. I got an email. That's what that kind of brrring sound was, in case it got picked up on the microphone. Chances are it did, because my phone's freaking right next to it. Jeez. Hope that wasn't like too loud or anything. I apologize in advance if it was. This is kind of weird. I feel like this would be a lot better if it was. I like to do this thing where whenever characters in my shorts get scared, their pupils get really small. Either that or like when they're really angry. And in the Peacock, whenever I try to articulate that, I find it becomes more apparent when I do just a little curvy line around the eye of the peacock like this. Like usually that communicates so much more. I'm not going to do it in this case just because I just don't feel like it's that kind of style. But maybe I'll just keep her pupils the same. Scale, actually, because that kind of retains her puppy dog look. Maybe not. We'll see how it plays out. Ooh, now there's an idea. I'll make her pupils shake a bit. Maybe that's a tad too slow. Maybe I'll like cut it down a bit. Six, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see how that goes. That's more like 1.5 seconds. One, two, three, four, five, six. I'm thinking it should go like this too. Just realizing what's happening. Maybe like, maybe her like clenched fist should be like covering her mouth a bit. Yeah, maybe. Like, I think these three are fine, but maybe these two should have them like. Sorry, getting distracted. Okay. Do, 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 do. That's a yada your daily devil. Some good old MF Doom for you. I am a very rough man. I should probably get some royalty-free music for this too. What you're about to see here is sort of a timestamp thing, which I currently forget the name of, but I don't do it often enough, so I'm thinking now would be a good time. I'm actually going to make it. Basically, what this indicates is this is frame, well, this is should be frame 5 actually. Frame 5. And this is frame 7 and frame 6. This tells me whether or not it's going to favor frame 5 or frame 7. So whether it's going to be closer to this pose or this pose. And I want it to be just a touch closer to 7 than 5. So let's see how that goes. No, whoops, hang on. Getting ahead of myself here. That's a little jolty. Maybe it'll help if I increase the exposure or something. Just make it go a touch slower. That's a little better. Thinking this one will just be a smidgen off of number 6, as it were. So like right here. It would just be a little bit of a nudge. Easing. It's something I need to work on. And what better time than now? Oh, my phone's going off. It's probably my other team. My phone's going off. I'm such a popular guy. A popular guy. Blimey. I make like noises to myself while I'm working. Hope that's not weird. Whoa, okay, that sticks out way too far. Holy! Suddenly her head is just popping out. Her hair is coming alive. I mean, in theory, that's sort of what I want, but I don't want it to be so monsterly. I'm a tired boy. Oops. Okay. Hmm. Pikapedia released a new thing. What? Ah, for those of you who don't know, Pikapedia is one of my favorite animators who I think at this point has reached 100,000 subscribers. Either that or he got really close. Apparently released a new video, but then immediately took it down. What the hell, Pikapedia? Why you do this? Why you do this to me, Pikapedia? That's an obnoxious voice. Okay. Um, I think I'll work on this until maybe 10 o'clock, maybe even earlier, and then I'll stop streaming. Yeah, I should be more up here. And that's a good spot. Wondering if that happens too slow, actually. Oh, there it is. After a while, my streaming starts to glitch, or my screen starts to glitch when I animate and stream at the same time. And I think that's showing up in the capture. Which sucks. But oh well. Hmm. Hmm. Wonder if it would look better if I did this. a little like weird. Maybe if I threw in a breakdown or something. Might have to workshop this a little bit later. But yeah, I think I'm gonna stop there. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this was semi-enjoyable or interesting to you. I'll catch you all next time. All right, see you later.